Namaste. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are congregated here today for a momentous occasion which will further strengthen the already established Indo-Tanzanian bilateral relations. We welcome you all to this special convocation ceremony of India's premier university, Jawaharlal Nehru University. Today, we have the privilege of conferring an honorary doctorate degree upon our distinguished guest, the first women president of Tanzania, Her Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan. With utmost respect, I would like to invite our Honorable First Women Vice Chancellor of Jawaharlal Nehru University, Professor Shanti Shri Dhulipudi Pandit, for the welcome address.
Namaste to all of you. Good morning. Most respected Her Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan, who's also known as Mama Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania, and in the very spirit of our Honorable Prime Minister, we celebrate Nari Shakti today, that is women's-led development and women empowerment in the Amrit Kal, that is the 76th year of our independence, leading to 100 years. Respected External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, who is also an alumnus of this university, and we are extremely proud of you, sir, at the successful completion of the G20+1, where you made a master stroke of getting the African Union into the G20. Respected Education Minister Shri Dharmendra Pradhan, who has transformed the role of higher education institutions through his revolutionary National Education Policy 2020, because of which, Your Excellency, we thank you for hosting the first IIT campus abroad in Zanzibar, which also brings in the internationalization of Indian education. And let me tell you, both IITs and JNU are public institutions funded by the government of India. So thank you, Minister, for being here today. I also welcome our respected Chancellor, Ambassador Kanwal Sibal, a seasoned diplomat and the former Foreign Secretary and Ambassador to several countries. He has just taken over, so we look for your guidance to make JNU go higher in its echelons. And dignitaries of the dais, honorable ministers from Tanzania, India, the Minister of State for Education, officials from the Ministry of External Affairs, Ministry of Education, JNU faculty, and students. Tiruvalluvar said the root of peace rests upon the walls of understanding. So today, Jawaharlal Nehru University is extremely happy to honor Her Excellency, the President of Tanzania. 1985, when I was a student, your father of the nation, Julius Nyerere, was also given an honorary doctorate by the Jawaharlal Nehru University. And a great friend of India as well, and JNU is extremely proud of that. Let me tell the Honorable President that Jawaharlal Nehru University is one of India's topmost university, as well as one of the topmost in international rankings. We are in the top 10 in 5 subjects in the QS rankings. We have also produced 2 Nobel Prize winners, and both of them in economics. And hence, I welcome you to Jawaharlal Nehru University today. As most of you know, that recently concluded G20 summit in New Delhi marked a significant milestone for diplomacy. The New Delhi declaration that emerged from this summit is a testament of India's exceptional ability to table ideas, shape global issues, bridge divides, and forge a consensus. At the heart of the summit was India's unwavering commitment for the promotion of an inclusive and equitable approach to highlight the interests of the global South, which also includes Africa. The most notable is, as I've already told you, the inclusion of the African continent, because India acknowledges the pivotal role of the African continent in shaping the agenda on international problems. In moving forward, the accomplishment of the summit will serve as a beacon of hope and inspiration for the international community, reminding us of the power of collaboration in addressing our shared global challenges in an extremely divided world. And it also had the motto of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which means one earth, one family, one future. So we are a family, we have a common future. Education is one that has also become a part of this endeavor of the vision and mission of our revolutionary Prime Minister Modi. The motto of excellence with empathy, equality with equity, inclusion with integrity and innovation is even more relevant today. The goal of becoming a Vishwa Guru, a leader in the knowledge society, requires transformational reforms in education. Our Honorable Minister here has been giving a very strong leadership in heralding in the NEP, New Education Policy of 2020, which is indeed a unique framework, for it brings in continuity with change, realm with region, holism with specialization, the stress on interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary aspects of knowledge, balance between science and technology, social sciences, humanities and languages, a touch of the local, regional with the national and international, as well as the universal. Madam, we are proud that you are also a product of Indian education. You're training in Hyderabad, and extremely proud that Indian education is contributing to global integrity and being of one family. I would also like to only say that JNU also has a Center for African Studies, which began in 1969 as a special center, and in 2009 it became a specialized center where we study issues related to Africa, politics and governance. And we also have Ministry of External Affairs has established the Nelson Mandela Chair in Jawaharlal Nehru University, where we invite African academics to come and be part of our staff and faculty to take lectures for a semester or two. And hence I would like to once again, Madam, welcome you this morning only by telling you that JNU celebrates 7 Ds, which is a part of our also civilizational values, and that is democracy, difference, debate, dialogue, deliberation, dissent, and development. Once again, welcome, ma'am, to Jawaharlal Nehru University, and we are extremely proud to give the first woman the honorary doctorate, and I think JNU is greatly benefited by your presence this morning. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Madam, for your inspirational and informative address. We now request Honorable Chancellor of Jawaharlal Nehru University, Ambassador Shri Kanwal Sibal, for the address. Ambassador Sibal retired as Foreign Secretary to the Government of India. In 2017, he was awarded with the prestigious Padma Shri Award for his distinguished services in the field of public affairs.
Honorable President of Tanzania, Honorable Ministers on the podium, Honorable Vice Chancellor. As the Vice Chancellor said, I took over my new responsibilities, if these are responsibilities, just a few days ago. It's supposed to be a ceremonial post, so I thought I would only be part of the ceremony, so they didn't tell me I needed to speak. But you know, I am very happy to be able to talk to you because of my personal association with Tanzania. As Deputy High Commissioner of India and Tanzania from 1976 to 79. At the time when Mwalimu Julius Nyerere was president, I got to know the country and its people, and of course its wonderful game parks. One of the people I met and cultivated and got to know rather well was Mr. Ben Makapa when he was in the Daily News. And later, when I followed a career a little bit, he became the president of your country. I knew another gentleman, Mr. Maramba. He was the head of the Small Industry Development Organization. I couldn't follow his career, but we had a very good relationship because it is in this area that we were cooperating a lot with Tanzania to help set up small industries in the country. And then, of course, we climbed the Kilimanjaro in January 1977 with Colonel Amin Kashmiri. But the interesting part is this, that they wanted absolutely the same gentleman who planted the Uhuru flag on Kilimanjaro in 1960, 60. That is Major Nirende. And but Nirende was in Zambia at that time. And he was drinking a lot of beer, so he was not as fit as he was when he first climbed the Kilimanjaro. So we went up. In the last stretch, the people around wanted to make absolutely sure that he reached the top. So they physically carried him in the last few meters to the top. But it was a wonderful experience. And of course, the remarkable game parks that you have, whether it's in Ngorongoro, or it is Serengeti, or Manyara, where the lions sit on the trees, what have you. It was, and then of course, there's a personal touch. My son was born there, in Muhimbili Hospital. And so I have very strong emotional connections, political connections, in the sense of great regard for this country. At that time, of course, President Nyerere and his whole concept of Ujama villages and everything else, in order to have grassroots development in the country, I think a little bit akin to Mahatma Gandhi's own idea that you must develop the rural countryside and the villages so they become self-sufficient. And that's the path to development rather than industrialization and this and that. That was not very popular in Africa at that time. The World Bank was not interested in helping the Ujama concept. They wanted to build up Kenya as an alternative model. Anyway, our foreign minister visited at that time. Mr. Jumbe was the vice president, and he was the president of Zanzibar. So we went across, and he gave a big trunk full of cloves to our foreign minister. And I got a packet. And my mother said that these are the best cloves that she's ever come across. You produce the best cloves in the world. Now, on a more serious note, as you know, we have always paid tremendous attention to Africa. Always, always. The legacy of Mahatma Gandhi, but not only that. I think now there is now widespread acceptance that Africa is the new continent. People don't have a proper idea of the development that is taking place in various parts of Africa. So there's tremendous potential there, and the whole approach to Africa by the rest of the world community has to change. But in our case, I think we never had that kind of an exploitative approach towards Africa, that you extract minerals and everything else. It has never been. It is much more cooperative in nature, building up capacities in various areas, training, education, capacity building in general, health, IT, what have you, and do projects which the country wants, not which sort of suit our own interests. We, as was mentioned, took the lead to propose the membership of the African Union in the G20 successfully. But before that, as you know, as part of the, of course, at the G20, we focused on the Global South in a big way. As the Foreign Minister will mention, that we had this meeting of Voice of the Global South in 125 countries participated virtually. But it goes further back. There was the South Commission of which President Julius Nyerere was the chairman. Our former Prime Minister, Manmohan Singh, was the secretary. So this whole concept of solidarity with the Global South has been very much a part of our foreign policy. And in this, I think Tanzania has a very central feature. Thank you very much.
Hello. Thank you so much, sir, for highlighting the emotional connection with the Republic of Tanzania. We are sure that this will help us to build cultural connection with the Republic of Tanzania in future. We now request Honorable Minister of Education, who is also the Honorable Minister of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan Ji, to deliver his address. Honorable Minister has also held the portfolios of State Independent Charge for the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas and Ministry of Steel.
Good morning. Your Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of United Republic of Tanzania, distinguished ministers and member of delegation of Tanzania, External Affairs Minister of India, Sri Jaishankar ji, Chancellor of JNU, Ambassador Kanwal Shibbal ji, Vice Chancellor of JNU, Srimati Shanti Sri Pandit ji, esteemed members of the diplomatic community from various African nations present here, senior officials from Government of India, representative head of academic institution and think tanks, faculty members, my dear students. I would like to extend a warm welcome to Your Excellency President Samia Suluhu Hassan and the dignitaries accompanying her. It is my profound honor and privilege to be here today on the occasion of the conferment of the honorary doctorate on the first female president of Tanzania. Your maiden state visit to India, Excellency, is historic and will contribute to the further consolidating the long-standing friendly ties between India and Tanzania. Today, the leadership provided by you and Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji guides India-Tanzania relations to greater heights. Tanzania is a key African partner of India. We count on your support to amplify the concern and the aspiration of the Global South on the international stage, especially in the field of education and human resource development. Both our nations have youthful demographics and face similar challenges, primarily delivering skill-focused, market-aligned higher education. We therefore need to collaborate more. Excellency, India has a vibrant higher education ecosystem with 55,000 higher education institutions, 42 million students, and 1.6 million teachers shaping the future of our nation through their shared pursuit of excellence. To further strengthen this pursuit, India is implementing an aspirational National Education Policy 2020, which has brought to transformative reforms in our educational ecosystem. Built on the foundational pillar of access, equity, quality, affordability, and accountability, it aspires to create responsible global citizens. We have brought in reforms in improve the quality of higher education by promoting multidisciplinary and flexibility through multiple entry and multiple exit. We have made great strides in creating digital public infrastructure in education system. Through multimodal delivery of education, we have democratized access to knowledge and reached more people in remote areas. We are revolutionizing vocational education by creating framework and infrastructures for seamless integration of school, skill and higher education and promoting industry-academia linkage. We have been actively sharing our knowledge and expertise in capacity building and higher education with fellow development partners in Africa in the spirit of South-South cooperation. Recently, we witnessed the joyous moment of welcoming the African Union as a permanent member of G20 under India's presidency. I am confident that this will further strengthen the G20 and the voice of Global South. Every year, a number of foreign students come to India for their education in India university and colleges. We are happy that many Tanzanian students prefer to come to India for higher education. We have recently revamped our Study in India portal to ease the admission and visa process for foreign students coming to India. India boasts of a large number of educational institutions of excellence such as Indian Institute of Technology, Indian Institute of Management, and National Institute of Technology, among others. I am happy that the first offshore campus of any IIT is being set up in Zanzibar. I am told that the IIT Madras Zanzibar campus is scheduled to be inaugurated by early next month. Excellency, this institute will prove to be a milestone in educational cooperation between our great nations and continents by providing students from Tanzania, other African countries with access to world-class engineering and technology education. This will help in nation building and will drive economic growth, technology, development and research and innovation in Africa. In this regard, I must sincerely express my gratitude to you and Government of Tanzania for hosting the campus. Guided by our National Education Policy 2020, India is actively contributing to deepen cooperation with our development partners in Africa. We strive to work with you hand in hand to equip our youth with 21st century education skills to prepare them for the future. We are encouraging our base skill development institutions to go to Tanzania and other African countries. Excellency, I would also be coming to Tanzania for this pivotal role in promoting the education agenda domestically and regionally through its national strategy for growth and poverty reduction. The successful implementation of primary and school education development programs and the successful hosting of African Human Capital Heads of State Summit, among other accomplishments. Under your leadership, I am confident cooperation between India and Tanzania in the field of education and development of human capital as well as the people-to-people ties will continue to intensify. Madam President, let me compete with our Chancellor, Ambassador Sibal. He fondly recollect his memory of Tanzania's period. Recently, Madam President, one of the young girl from my native town in the eastern part of country, I belong to a state, Odisha, from a native small town. One girl climbed the Kalimanjaro mountain and he brought the pride for all of us. With these words, I once again welcome Your Excellency and your distinguished delegation and congratulate you on receiving this prestigious doctorate. Thank you, friends.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, sir, for your address and for always being supportive and encouraging all academic endeavors in JNU. Now we are privileged to have with us the Honorable Minister of External Affairs of India, Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar, a renowned diplomat. We are proud to inform you that Honorable Minister is an alumnus of our premier university, Jawaharlal Nehru University. With utmost respect, I invite him to deliver his address.
Your Excellency, President Samia Suluhu Hassan, esteemed ministers from Tanzania, my cabinet colleague, Shri Dharmendra Pradhanji, Honorable Chancellor, Shri Ambassador Kamal Sibalji, Vice Chancellor, Dr. Santishri Dhulupudi Pandit, Excellencies, dignitaries, ladies, gentlemen, students. Namaskar, Havari, good morning. It is a matter of great pride for us to confer the honorary doctorate on President Samia Suluhu Hassan today from the Jawaharlal Nehru University. I take particular satisfaction in this as an alumnus of this university. Honorable President is no stranger to India and has personally experienced the capabilities of Indian institutions. Though it is our first chance to welcome her as the President of Tanzania, we greet her as an old friend. By honoring her with an educational conferment, we not only recognize her long association with India, but highlight this particular aspect of our relationship. Education and capacity building are important facets of our bilateral ties. Over 5,000 Tanzanian nationals have been trained in educational institutions in India under our ITEC program. India also plays host to several Tanzanian students who study in India. And in our universities, young minds brim with confidence as they shape India's future through their startups, inventions, and innovations. They carry a profound sense of responsibility and duty towards our collective future, and I'm sure that their Tanzanian fellow students certainly benefit from that. Taking this link further from our side, Tanzania is, as you have all heard, the preferred destination to set up the first overseas campus of the Indian Institute of Technology in Zanzibar. Classes for the first batch are scheduled to begin this month. The institution has the potential to become the premier center for technical education for the entire African continent. It is symbolic of our cooperation with the Global South, and I deem it a personal privilege to have been present in Zanzibar at its inauguration. As I noted, the first cohort of, I believe, 70 students has been finalized, and it actually reminds me of my own years in JNU because these years were the inception years of this university. Providing a voice for the Global South has been the overriding concern of our G20 presidency. And again, you're all familiar that we consulted with 125 countries at the Voice of the Global South Summit to ensure that the G20 addresses the fundamental issues of the developing world. The inclusion of the African Union into the G20 as a full member was one of the highest successes of our presidency. But I would like to take this occasion to underline that the rise of Africa is, we believe, central to global rebalancing. Our support for that process is therefore unstinted. Most of our embassies, I should share with you, most of our embassies that we have opened in the last decade are in that continent. I should also add that the visit by the Honorable President Samia Suluhu Hassan is the first visit from Africa after the inclusion of the AU into the G20, and we recognize that significance as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, India and Tanzania enjoy traditionally close and friendly relations marked by sound political understanding, regular high-level visits, diversified economic engagement, and strong people-to-people contacts. Our trade relations with Tanzania date back several centuries when traders from the western coast of India first traveled to East Africa along the maritime route for trade and commerce. In fact, yesterday, when the Honorable President met Prime Minister Modi, this was the connect between our western coastline, the state of Gujarat, and Zanzibar in particular, I think was very much the subject of conversation. Economic ties between our two countries have always been a strong pillar. I'm happy to inform that despite the global disruption and challenges posed by the pandemic, our bilateral trade has witnessed strong growth from both sides and today stands at close to $6 billion. With India already as the fifth largest economy, the Indian government is vigorously pursuing sweeping reforms aimed at ensuring inclusive growth. India has grown as an economic powerhouse, and this offers opportunities to businessmen from Tanzania to be part of our growth story. While India is one of the fastest growing economies of the world, Tanzania has also displayed impressive economic performance. This offers enormous opportunities for further cooperation and convergence between the two countries, and I should say we are really limited only by our ambition. Our engagement with Tanzania, indeed with all of Africa, continues to be guided by the 10 principles enumerated by Prime Minister Modi in July 2018. In essence, it is cooperation based on our partners' priority. In the contemporary era, the center of gravity is now moving towards the Indo-Pacific, and that also encompasses the east coast of Africa. Guided by our Saga policy, we engage Tanzania as a littoral neighbor. Our cooperation can make a notable contribution to maintaining peace, prosperity, and security, and ensure secure, free, and open shipping lanes in the Indian Ocean. So, friends, real partnerships are driven by exchanges of experience which identify and constantly refresh collaborative opportunities. Those who are a living bridge in this regard hold a particular value for our ties. In the person of the Honorable President Samia Suluhu Hassan, we have today amidst us exactly such an inspiration. This conferment, I'm very confident, is a message that relations between our two countries will continue to further grow and prosper in the times to come. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing your wisdom on bilateral relations of India and Republic of Tanzania, and also for your experience with us today. Thank you so much, sir. We have now reached the momentous part of our ceremony, the conferment of the honoris causa upon our highly revered, esteemed guest, Her Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan, the first woman president of the United Republic of Tanzania. Now I invite the first women Vice Chancellor of Jawaharlal Nehru University, Professor Pandit, for the conferment ceremony.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as the Vice Chancellor of Jawaharlal Nehru University, it is my privilege to confer the honorary doctorate honoris causa on Her Excellency, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Samia Suluhu Hassan. Now, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, for Indo-Tanzanian relations and India-Africa relations, and for Nari Shakti.
Many, many congratulations, Her Excellency. Ladies and gentlemen, we now humbly invite Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania, to kindly come and grace us with her words of wisdom. Please now.
Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Jaishankar, Honorable Minister for Education and Skills Development, Shri Dharmendra, Honorable Minister for Education, Marumo Debi, Chancellor of the Jawaharlal Nehru University, Professor Shantishri, Vice Chancellor, senior Indian government officials here present, ministers, permanent secretaries, and other members of my delegation, faculty members, fellow alma mater and students, members of the diplomatic corps, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, namaste and good morning. The world say there's no midway in falling in love with India. Be it an Indian song, Indian movie, or Indian cuisine. It is very difficult to resist an Indian charm, and I agree. I have experienced it when I came to India for the first time in 1998 to study at the Hyderabad National Institute of Development and Administration. The memories were still vivid, and I can attest further for the colorful reception I received during this visit as a president of my beloved country. Thank you very much, India. Colleagues, a few minutes ago, I came into this university as a visiting guest. Few minutes after, you have changed me as a family and conferred me with an honorary causa degree. I'm now standing here as a family member of the great Jawaharlal Nehru University and no more as a visiting guest. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. This is what makes India irresistible. This is what makes India incredible India, not just of the beauty of its landscape, but also the generosity and the kindness of its people. I'm humbled that my new family boasts of illustrious members, including the current Minister for External Affairs, Honorable Dr. Jaishankar, and the current Finance Minister, the Honorable Nirmal Sitaraman, who both graduated here. And I'm told even our Indian ambassador to Tanzania is a member of this university. So thank you very much. Mr. Chancellor, Right Honorable ladies and gentlemen, my heart is brimming with gratitude and my soul is humbled by the profound recognition bestowed upon me by this great university. Receiving an honorary doctorate is an extraordinary privilege that I accept with great pride and humility. I extend my heartfelt appreciation to Jawaharlal Nehru University for deeming me worthy of honoris causa. This honorary causa degree will forever be etched in my history as the first to be awarded to me by a foreign country. Definitely, I've got one. I've got one from the University of Dar es Salaam, but this is the first one to be conferred by the foreign university. Thank you very much. Thank you for decorating and adding color to my history. Thank you for the kind words you spoke about me and the reason behind conferring me with this honor. For a moment, as the citation was being read, I paused and reminisced and appreciate the long and laborious journey I have endured, the heavy weight I have lifted, and the remarkable contribution I've made to my country so far. Rarely I do get time to breathe. unwind and appreciate the journey, since life in the presidency gives one no time to think and reflect about oneself. You always think and reflect about the people. It has been and will always be a journey for the people, the country, and the world. Today, you gave me an opportunity to reflect. The flashback took me to my tiny coastal village at Kizimkazi in the islands of Unguja, Zanzibar, where I was born and raised. I reflected on my childhood as a girl child in a predominantly traditional African and Muslim community. A daughter born by a housewife and fathered by a teacher. Had little chance and no hope of becoming a president of Tanzania, especially given my educational journey where I studied higher education while working. Never had I dreamed of having a prefix before my name, but today I have it. Let alone dreamt of this prefix coming from a prestigious university which is miles away from home. I become, certainly, not because I'm extraordinary, not because I'm self-made, but because I'm a product of many pair of eyes and hands which saw the potential in me, nurtured and supported me. I'm forever grateful for my late parents who saw an importance of investing in a girl child, taking me to school and supported my quest in furthering my education. To my family, who supported me throughout in my career, who tolerated my absence in their lives and allowed me to pursue further studies in a political career. And among them, my son is here, Abdul, if you can send and see. This is the third born. There is a brother and a sister on top of him. Not least to my friends, mentors, and the entire support system. To all of you, I say thank you very much. This award also goes to the leaders and members of my party, the Chama cha Mapinduzi CCM, which entrusted me with many roles and opportunities, including being the presidential running mate and later the chair of the party and the President of the United Republic of Tanzania. It also goes to Tanzanians who gave me the honor of being their president and lent me their trust and overwhelming support. But in particular, this award I dedicated to the Tanzanian girl child who live in the remote parts of the country. I want them to know that with hard work and commitment, all glass ceilings can be torn down. I'm acutely aware that whatever I achieve as a leader of my country is partly because I'm standing on the broad shoulders of my brothers, my predecessors, who have dedicated their lives into making the institution of presidency into what I have inherited. Their legacy is woven into very fabric of this institution, and it is with profound reverence that I accept this honor also in their names. I could go on and on thanking everybody, since my success, if any, is the accumulation of many trusts, many efforts, and many supports I've received on my way up. And we in Africa believe that when the heart is full, it pours out from the mouth. So I refrain from overthinking because the list is endless. Thank you all. Mr. Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen, while I rejoice and celebrate this honor, I'm reminding myself that there is no free lunch. Much as you did not, out of respect or out of courtesy, condition me to deliver remarks upon being conferred an honorary degree, I understand that it is customary for an awardee to do so. And it may be inappropriate not to seize this opportunity to share with you my reflections on issues of mutual concern. I therefore wish to share with you my reflection on what is India to us, Tanzanian Africans. To us, Tanzanians, India is not simply a country. India is an extended family member, simply separated by a coastline, a strategic ally, a dependable partner, and a friend for all seasons. This is what we see in India. India and Tanzania relations dated long before pre-independence from our colonial master, United Kingdom. The monsoon trade connected our people through the Indian Ocean. The Indian community has lived and thrived in Tanzania for decades and spanned generations. They form part of Tanzanian citizenry and contributed to our struggle for independence and national building thereafter. And so, it comes to no surprise that Indian food, which ranges between Indian rice, curries, and traditional Indian desserts, form part of our menus on our tables. Moreover, some Indian words like lucky, pesa, kalam, rang, tayar, lekin, dunia, and kismat, they are also parts of our cultural heritage. On the other hand, colorful Hindu temple forms hallmark on many of our towns. With the Diwali festival, while Diwali's festival is celebrated by all of us as a statement to our unity and appreciation of customs and traditions of our Hindu brothers and sisters in Tanzania. Suffice to say, we are more connected rather than disconnected. The blood ties, history, and relations are augmented by the Indian Ocean. This reflection on my delegation, reflection is on my delegation, which include Tanzanians of Indian origin. Are you there? Tanzanians of Indian origin, Ahmed, Mohsen, and others. They are Tanzanians, not Indians. This is what I meant when I said India is our extended family. So here are two, but we have many of them. And some of them, they haven't even traveled to India. They were born in Tanzania and they die in Tanzania. So you could see the level of the connection we have between Tanzania and India. Traces of our connectedness are also evident in trade. India is our fourth largest trading partner. In the past 5 years, our bilateral trade volume has increased from $2 billion in 2017-18 to $6.5 billion in last June of 2023. India is also top 5 investment source for Tanzania, with 631 investment projects worth $3.7 billion. These are not words. These are numbers. And we all know words speak louder, but numbers speak clearer. So this is the clear picture of our relation. Given our historic bonds and bilateral ties, there is no excuse why India is not our #1 bilateral trade partner and investment source. This is an issue that preoccupied my discussion with Her Excellency President Drupadi Murmu and Right Honorable Prime Minister Modi. In a move to give a strong accent to our resolve, we had decided to elevate our relationship into a new strategic partnership anchored in 4 pillars, and they are maritime security, defense cooperation, development cooperation, and trade and investment. I'd like to thank the President of India, Her Excellency Drupadi Murmu, for her invitation, and the Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Narendra Modi, for engaging with me and my delegation through the details of our cooperation. At this point, allow me to thank everyone who has made my visit to India a success, with a special mention for His Excellency Biana Pradhan, Indian High Commissioner to Tanzania, whom, as I said before, happened to be an alumni of this great university. Mr. Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen, beyond familyhood and trade partnership, India is our strategic ally. India is now a powerful house. It possesses needed soft and hard powers enough to shape the outcomes, influence change, and able to raise a voice to be heard in the lobbying corridors and rooms where world decisions are made and our fate as developing country is decided. We in the developing world immensely appreciate the leadership and contribution that India is making in preserving and restoring sense, value, and humanity to our increasing plurilateral, manipulative, and materialistic world. India is our formidable member, in the non-aligned movement, the Commonwealth, and Group 77 in the United Nations, continues to be our voice and mouthpiece in avenues where we don't have seat. We trust India's leadership, not because of its sheer size and economy, but because of its historic contribution and moral standing. India has remained truthful and loyal to the cause of the Global South and the developing countries in general. We appreciate the fact that you have continued to uphold the importance of multilateralism and valuing society over market. That means they value people over profit. The role that builds hope for a better future. We in Africa are delighted with India's ascendancy to a position of global influence. We are comfortable because we are confident that India will never forget Africa. Signals and actions by India justify our confidence. India has advocated for the admission of the AU as a permanent member to the prestigious club of G20. This is a just gesture. And as a first African president visiting India, and on behalf, we congratulate, on behalf of my heads of state and government from Africa, we congratulate and commend India for successful completion of the G20 summit and be able to advocate for Africa to be a full member. Thank you so much. Tracing back, India played an important role in the decolonization of Africa. India provided material support for the armed liberation struggle of Southern Africa. India is now our important ODA partner. India has formalized our engagement through India-Africa summits and by opening first overseas campus of the world-renowned Indian Institute of Technologies in Zanzibar. It has demonstrated desire to export success in skills and development and technologies to Africa. India cares about peace and stability in Africa, as it is the largest troop contributing country in the United Nations peacekeeping operations, most of which are in Africa. We in Africa can say here today, without fear of contradiction, that even when India reaches a pinnacle of global power, as it is bound to at some point, it will still retain the noble cause of global South in her heart. This is what, at the very least, we expect of India. That India, whenever it goes, whatever point of achievement reaches, it will still have Africa and the global South in her heart. We are living in a different era of confronting new realities and new challenges, that India cannot overcome them alone, neither can Africa. Having united our efforts can increase our strength to face them and leverage our power to tackle them. Our partnership has helped us before to fight against piracy in the Indian Ocean, to help regulate and conserve our shared marine resources through the Indian Ocean Tuna Commission. We also stood up against unfair trade proposition in the WTO and pushed for the reforms in the United Nations and its Security Council. On another stride, the COVID-19 pandemic exposed us to the realities of inequality. Globalization did not deliver on its promise. The champions of globalization were the first ones to close their borders. The market did not work fairly for the developing world. When it comes to vaccine and PPTs, and the narratives of leave no one behind and global public good became nothing but empty rhetoric. True colors came out and masks of the big powers fell off. India, fortunately, did put humanity first put the humanity first by supplying millions of doses of vaccines to about 100 developing countries. This was admirable, but we need to do more together to prepare for the inevitable future pandemics. The need to invest in global health security to prepare our countries for future pandemics is imminent. Having vibrant pharmaceutical industry and an advancement in research and development, I'm convinced that India is better placed to take leadership on this important crusade. We must work together to win the next test. Ladies and gentlemen, another area of convergence for Indo-Africa partnership is our noble fight for a just green energy transition. Much as we are positive about green energy transition, we are of the opinion that the time frame and the course switching towards a greener path should observe the principle of common but differentiated responsibilities. By saying so, we are not rebelling, but we are simply calling for justice. A just greener transition. Certainly, this is not too much to ask to the world. But India, being the world's 5th largest producer of solar power and the world's 2nd cheapest solar power, it stands a chance to impact Africa positively in terms of green transition. India provides an opportunity for Africa to leapfrog energy crisis in underserved areas through affordable and adaptable off-grid and mini grids equipment and infrastructure. Likewise, Africa offers India the scale to expand its green energy industry and lead the transition. Ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, I said at the beginning of my remarks that India means so much to Tanzania and Africa. I hope I've tried to in the course of my delivery to shed light on what India means to us as extended family, a strategic ally, and a reliable partner. Our geographical proximity, cultural affinity, and demographic similarity give logic to a cheaper Indo-Africa economic and political cooperation and partnership. Our destiny is intertwined. Africa cannot purport to penetrate to the center of the world's economy without India. On the other side, India's leadership of the Global South in the pursuit of fair global order cannot be attained if Africa is in the periphery. This is to say, Africa and India are almost and always tied at the hip when it comes to unlocking the global challenges to our growth and development. In our struggle against colonialism and our cry on fairness in the global financial architecture, the principled world economic order, India has always been a shoulder for Africa to lean on. Next year, we are commemorating the 5th anniversary of the Declaration for the New International Economic Order, of which India was the main proponent. We must admit there was over-optimism in terms of the timeline and scale in attaining the new international economic order, and that resulted in disappointment. However, the new realities and lessons learned must compel us to forge for Indo-Africa cooperation to push for a more fairer world. Together, we can be a formidable voice and a force to be reckoned with. In closing, I extend my deepest gratitude once again to this esteemed institution for the privilege of receiving this honorary doctorate. Thank you very much. I accept it not as a culmination of my efforts, but as a reaffirmation of the boundless potential that hard work, dedication, and selflessness holds for us all. Let us move forward with a renewed commitment to harness the transformative power of cooperation, and in doing so, let us forge a future that is marked by unity, understanding, and the steadfast dedication to the betterment of the humanity. This honor comes with responsibilities and expectations. It is a call to action, a call to leverage the privilege that it confers to the betterment of our world. It is a call to use our knowledge, our skills, and our resources to effective positive change, to advocate for those whose voices have been marginalized, and to champion causes that resonate with the values we hold dear. As I stand here today, I'm mindful of the profound interconnectedness of all human beings. We are bound by a common purpose, a shared destiny, and a collective responsibility to leave this world better than we found it. Together, we have the capacity to shape a legacy of compassion, empathy, and progress that will endure generations to come. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Her Excellency, for sharing your love and deep connection with our beloved country, India. We wish that India's and Tanzania's bilateral relations and cooperation in all spheres will reach new heights under your dynamic leadership. Thank you once again, Madam, for your inspiring words and insight. Now I request Professor Ravi Kesh, Registrar of Jawaharlal Nehru University, to propose the formal vote of thanks.
Honorable Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Honorable Dr. S. Jaishankar ji, Minister of External Affairs, Honorable Sri Dharmendra Pradhan ji, Minister for Educational and Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Srimati Annapurna Devi ji, Honorable Minister of State, JNU Vice Chancellor Ambassador Kamal Sibbal ji, JNU Vice Chancellor Professor Santisri Dhulipudi Pandit ma'am, distinguished guests, respected colleagues and dear students, Namaste. I stand before you today with a sense of privilege as I propose vote of thanks on behalf of our university for gracing this special convocation ceremony with your kind presence. First and foremost, on behalf of JNU community, I would like to thank our chief guest, Honorable Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, for gracing today's event with her benign presence and sharing her illuminating speech. We were truly enlightened to hear her enlightening thoughts on her first visit to India as the President, along with her distinguished ministers before us. It was truly a proud moment for us to see first woman Vice Chancellor of our university felicitating a first woman President of Tanzania with the honorary doctorate in the august presence of many illuminating figures of Tanzania and India today. I would like to thank our deepest gratitude to our Honorable Dr. S. Jaishankar ji, an alumnus of our premier institution, and Honorable Minister of External Affairs for your unwavering support, guidance and leadership, under which India and Tanzania is on the right path to attaining new heights. Your vision and dedication have been the driving force behind organizing this event successfully. We are immensely grateful to our esteemed Minister for Education and Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Sri Dharmendra Pradhan ji, for your gracious presence today and enlightening us with your kind words of wisdom and encouragement. We are truly thankful to you, sir, for your constant guidance in fostering an environment of academic excellence, research and innovation. We are grateful to our Venerable Chancellor Ambassador Kamal Sibbal ji for his constant support, guidance and encouragement. I must also thank our Vice Chancellor Professor Santisri Dhulipudi Pandit ma'am for her initiative, guidance and constant encouragement in organizing this special convocation successfully. I must thank all the dignitaries and heads of various government organizations and think tanks who have graced today's special occasion and encouraged us. We offer our sincere thanks to all the deans and chairpersons and students of JNU and other institutions for extending your active support and cooperation in making this program successful. I convey our gratitude to the officials of Ministry of External Affairs, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Delhi Police, Convocation Committee of JNU, the event organizations, and all volunteers for providing much needed logistic support, venue and human resources, whose countless hours of planning and coordination have made this event a success. Last but not the least, a special thanks to all the students who have joined us today in online mode and offline mode to witness this special event. Once again, thank you all for being part of this momentous occasion. Thank you. So with this, we conclude this special convocation. May I request all the dignitaries here to join us for high tea.